What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I made a promise to myself 2 years ago on this date that this day would never go by as long as I have the Power Play where I want to talk about April 15th, 2013. Obviously, the Boston Marathon bombings happened, and me being a proud and true Bostonian, the way my life was impacted, but what those bombings meant, in terms of the community and how I viewed myself within that community. 2 years ago I was a junior in college in Florida, 1,500 miles from home, and I had to watch. And I've told the story 1,000 times on the Power, probably 3 or 4 times, but just finding out in class, sitting there. And then, going and to my dorm room watching on CNN and being like, or I forget if it was CNN. I honestly can't remember the news network. If it was CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whoever, but just the first news network putting it on, and seeing downtown Boston and the finish line of the marathon be turned into a war zone, really hit to the core of me. And the picture that'll stay with me for the rest of my life. So, a couple weeks before that, the Bruins played Pittsburgh, and if memory serves me correctly, they pissed the game away late in the later period, when it was the third period, whatever. But the kid Martin Richard was there. There was a picture of him in the Bruins hat, the Bruins jersey, and I look at that kid, and it could have been me, could have been any one of my little cousins or whoever, and it's just kind of microcosm of, being a kid in Boston, growing up loving the Bruins, loving the Red Sox, and, just at 8 years old, that everything just be dead because, some scumbag chose to murder innocent people. This is, I'll never understand it as long as I live. And, what hit me at the time originally was bad things aren't supposed to happen in Boston. They're supposed to happen somewhere else. But, you see something like that happen, and you understand that it's a cruel world out there. But through these awful events, through these unthinkable acts, people come together, and come together in ways you never would have thought under basic circumstances. Just the love and admiration for each other, excuse me, and the Boston community was, I'll never forget. I was in Florida when the bombings happened, and I came home for the summer. I want to say like 10 days later, I don't know the specifics, but came home, and first, second day I was home, I went over. I had to go where the bombs went off. I needed to see where it happened. And obviously, I'd been on Boylston Street in that area of town 1,000 times in my life. I love, that neck of the woods, Copley, the Prudential Mall, Newbury Street. Anytime I go over and go shopping, I love it. And stood there, saw the memorial in the park, and I just started crying like a baby. And there were 2 other people standing there crying. We all kind of hugged each other, and it sounds so stupid, so cliche, but for strangers to come together with something like that, it really just put a whole new perspective on humanity. And at the time, again, I was in Florida in college, and I really had no intentions of going home. I want to spend the rest of my life on the beach, drink margaritas, like something out of a Jimmy Buffett song. But I kind of set in like, I miss that sense of community. And it set the wheels in motion and come home, and here we are 2 years later. But I just there are moments in your life where you'll never forget where you were. Boston Marathon bombing was one for me. I'll never forget being in the gym when the shootout happened in the boat. And then, getting back to my dorm again as soon as possible, putting the news on it, seeing the Boston police and then the Massachusetts State Troopers and the FBI, apprehend suspect number 2 was, I'm not even going to use his name because he doesn't belong. He's been convicted. He's convicted last week, 10 days ago, but Just a low life scumbag that tried to ruin. He ruined people's lives and murdered 4 people, but he won't impact our way of life. The city of Boston will always come through tough times like that, and a little bit of a rant, but if you understood my emotions at that time to see just the shit, and then you look at the Bruins, they kind of an upstart, brought to the Stanley Cup final that season, and then the Red Sox, God bless them, after finishing dead last the year before, came back and won us the World Series. I mean, that was special. I mean, sports can't alleviate the suffering, but they can give us a distraction. And just call it what you want, but you can tell that Sox team was playing this, and likewise the Bruins were too. So to go back and relive those moments is painful, but you look at the good that came from it. Just the sense of community that existed, and it continues to exist. Not that wasn't there before, but it became more apparent, and helped this prodigal son find his way home. And I look at myself now as you see the tough moments, but even in the worst circumstances, you can find goodness in people. And whether it was the marathon runners who, after finishing running, continued to run to get to hospitals to donate blood, or the Boston Police, the FBI, whatever, serving selflessly to help apprehend the 2 lowlifes. That's what you see. As bad as the events were, to see the goodness in people, is something I'll never forget. And as long as I live, April 15th will be a day I gotta talk about, because as much as it tears me up, I think about the whole turn of events, and how it's, as someone from Boston, it'd be remiss for me not to mention. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my little 7.5 minute spiel. Stay tuned for episodes of the season through the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.